Hi, welcome back. The goal of this video is to continue with building out our GUI demo here. So let's just take a quick inventory of where we're at. Taking a little bit to launch. Here we go. So in previous videos in this series, we've looked at things like checkboxes, choice boxes, combo boxes, radio buttons, text areas, all kinds of things, tables, how to enable buttons and whatnot. And the next thing we want to add to our repertoire is something called a spinner. Now you might want to use a spinner if you have a set of data. You want to restrict the user's set of data to a specific range, similar to like how you might have a choice box here where we have, you know, fruit, or we have these courses here. The difference is that maybe the range is quite large. So for example, if I wanted to have a user pick a grade, right, the ability to pick a grade, I might use a spinner because they can either type directly in it, or they can just click up arrow or down arrow, and it allows the user to access the full range without having to scroll and whatnot. So we'll pick a spot around here, and we're going to add our spinner. So to launch this, to get our, let's see here, that was our fxml document. That was the name of that first screen. So double click, launch Scene Builder. It does look a little bit different just because we were playing around with CSS. But over here on the hierarchy side, we can see we've got two horizontal boxes. And that final box here, we've got an anchor pane. So that's how we were able to just place the button right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this this anchor pane. Actually, you know what? We can even just put a spinner right in it. So let's bring this down. Let's find a spinner. There we go. So we can take a spinner and we can drag it, and we'll drop it onto this anchor pane and hit save. So let's make this a range of grades, maybe, right? So let's we'll put a little label here. And we'll call this, say, select grade. Okay, so then the rest of what we're going to do is we're going to do inside of our controller. So this is our fxml document. We go back in to NetBeans here, and we can see we have the fxml document controller. And let me zoom in for you. So it's a little bit bigger. Shrink this down. Okay. So we have a method in here called initialize, and this method is called when the GUI is first launched. So here you can see we set, you know, the values for our choice boxes and our courses into our combo boxes. So let's go down to the bottom of this, and here I'm going to say configure the spinner with. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we have to set up our spinner in two different spots. So the first area is going to be, we have to declare it. We have to give it a name. So let's go, I'm just going to go to the top of the file here. And here's where we're defining all of our various objects. And then we're going to have to import our class. And we'll go to the bottom of the file here. And now we need to configure our spinner. And the way that we actually do this is we have to create something called a spinner value factory, because you can configure these spinners with different types of objects. So spinner value factory, and in this case I want numbers between 0 and 100, so I'm going to say that these are of type integer, and we'll give it a name. Let's do grades value factory. And then in brackets here, what we're going to do is we're going to put the minimum value, the maximum value, and if we want, a default value. So I'm going to say the minimum is 0, the maximum is 100, and let's say the default value is 75, because most students are probably going to have a, something near 75, maybe a little below, maybe a little above, but it'll be in that range. And then what we do is we're going to attach this to our grade spinner. Okay, so we're going to say grade spinner set the value factory, right? And it's going to assume that it's the grades value factory that we want. Hit save. So now we've defined a grade spinner, but we need to connect that on the view side. So we go back into our view, we click on it, go down to code. There we go. And here we can see our FX ID. We can select the grade spinner, file, save, and let's give this a run. Okay, so here our spinner is showing along with our label. The default value of 75 is in there. And now what's nice about this is I can scroll up. Now remember, we said 100 is the maximum, so I can click as much as I want past 100. It won't allow me to. And it won't let me just type a number in. So what we're going to do is we'll make it editable. So let's do one more thing here. We'll say grade spinner set editable to true. So that means that I can go in here directly and type a number. So I'll run. Now the interesting thing is, if I put in an invalid number, it actually won't allow, it doesn't really allow it to read that number. So if I were to use this to, I don't know, insert into a database or something like that, it wouldn't read the number because it's not in the valid range. But see, now I can type in the number 4. And I could scroll down, but you see how it won't let me go below 0. If I type in the number like -120, and I say go less than this, see how it goes to 0. It's going to go to the nearest valid number. So there you have it. We've set up our numeric spinner. Hope you enjoyed this session.